Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I want to share a bunch of makeup products that I just cannot get out of my mind. These are all older makeup products. I look them up online all the time. I look at them every time I'm in Sephora or Ulta, but I've just never quite been able to take the leap and buy them. If this is your first time to my channel, hi, I'm Morgan, welcome in. Videos like this are fairly regular on my channel because I focus a lot of my content on conscious consumerism and really making sure that you love the makeup collection that you have. If that sounds interesting to you, I would love to have you subscribe before you go today. And now let's jump into the list. Old makeup that I'm still curious about. Seriously, you guys have no idea how many times I've added these items to my cart and then taken them out for one reason or another. So I wanted to talk through some of these today, and I would love your comments down below on if there are any items that you 100% recommend picking up or that I should definitely steer clear of, because I do have a low buy month coming up in June. So any feedback that you have on these would be super, super helpful for me. I'm gonna do my best not to mention a ton of eyeshadow palettes because in January this year, I did a really similar video, but specifically only about older eyeshadow palettes that I still wish I owned, wish I had picked up when they were first released. So I'll link that in the corner if you're curious about that. I do have a couple eyeshadow palettes on here just because I think they're special mentions. But the first thing is actually a foundation, and it's the Koki Skin Perfect HD foundation. I just consistently hear incredible things about this foundation from people that I really, really trust on YouTube. So two people that come to mind immediately are Khaki Reviews Beauty and Kelly Gooch. It sounds right up my alley. It's a medium coverage skin-like finish foundation, which is pretty much what I'm looking for all of the time. I feel like the one thing that's always stopping me from buying this is that it's hard to get your hands on. I don't have some of the drugstores here in Colorado where this is sold. It's sold in some drugstores, and then it's also sold in some Sally Beauty locations, but the Sally Beauties near me do not carry Koki complexion products, and so I would have to place an order from the Koki website, and their shipping is astronomical. I would pay almost as much as the foundation costs for shipping unless I hit a minimum. So until I have enough other things that I'm interested in buying from Koki, I feel like I'm just never going to get this foundation, even though I have been lusting after it for years and years. The next one is a more recent release, but I feel like it's now been enough time that has passed that the hype has kind of died down, and I just don't think it would necessarily benefit my channel. And so I would really have to want this personally. And this is the e.l.f. Mint Melt Cooling Primer. I've heard it's a great dupe for the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer, which is one of my all-time favorites, but I still have a decent amount of that left. So I don't want to own them at the same time. And like I said, I don't think it's beneficial at this point to like do a review of it on my channel. It's been long enough that that's not going to get views or anything like that. So I think this one is just kind of sitting in the back of my mind, kind of consciously there as something I want to buy when my Milk one runs out. Let me know in the comments, if you've tried both, do you think they are actually dupes? Okay, next up, I've got a whole slew of things from Flower Beauty. So my issue with Flower Beauty is that it's always a brand I've been curious to try, but it's like just above those really good drugstore prices where I'm like, okay, I'll just wait and see if the reviews are good and see if it's worth that little extra bit of money than some of the more affordable brands. And then all of the reviews are always outstanding, and I'm always kicking myself for not just having bought the thing when it came out. So I'm kind of waiting right now to see if Flower Beauty releases some new things that intrigue me. But in the meantime, here's just a laundry list of stuff that I cannot get out of my brain from this brand. Okay, so the Jungle Lights palette from Flower Beauty is an eyeshadow palette, but it's kind of almost more like 6 single shimmer shadows than it is like a full eyeshadow color story. So it's kind of different in my mind, I guess, than like just an eyeshadow palette. I want this so bad. Every time I see swatches of it, every time I see someone use it, I just die a little bit inside for having not bought it. It's a little pricey, it's almost $20, I think, but honestly, for 6 such high performing shades, I think that's worth it. I just feel at this point like it might be redundant in my collection, and then that makes me really hesitant to buy it. Their blush bombs consistently get rave reviews, and I do like that kind of gel liquid cheek formula, so I'm always curious about those. I look at them all the time. Their Heatwave Luminous bronzer, specifically in the shade Sunrise, really intrigues me. It's kind of more of a cool undertone and almost reddish, actually. I don't know. The swatches I see online and when I see people use it, it just intrigues me so much that I feel like I need to know what it looks like on my skin tone, because as someone with a neutral leaning cool undertone, I feel like a shade like that would be such an at-home color on my face. And then last from Flower Beauty, their Out Lip Glaze intrigues me. I had no interest in these because the color lineup is like kind of weird to me. But then I saw Hannah Louise Poston rave about the formula and say it's just like one of the best lip products she's ever owned. And now I can't get it out of my head, and I feel like maybe the color compromise might be worth it to just try out the formula. So let me know in the comments. Have you tried any of those things from Flower Beauty? I would love to hear your thoughts. Next up, I have two different concealers that I just never hear people stop talking about, and I feel like the fact that they've stood the test of time this far means that they truly are incredible. The first is the Kosas Revealer Concealer, and the second is the Milani Conceal and Perfect. I have no good reason anyway, why I haven't just kind of taken the plunge and purchased either of these. The Kosas one, I will say, I hesitate a little bit. I have a hard time with high-end concealers. I've tried many in the past, and they've just never blown me away. And so the cost of the Kosas one is really kind of what's preventing me on that one. But I feel like I hear such unique things about the formula that it may be different and it may be worth the higher price tag. The Milani, however, I just can't think of a single good reason I haven't just gone and bought this. I love Milani's products. And this sounds like an ideal concealer for me. It sounds hydrating but full coverage, and what more could you want? At least for me, as someone with dark circles under my eyes and very dry skin, that sounds flawless. And you know what? I'm talking myself into it. I'm probably gonna buy it as soon as my June low buy comes around. Okay, next up is M Cosmetics, and generally the whole brand. I honestly, everything I see released from M Cosmetics draws me in immediately. I did not put them on my 2021 brands to try list just because they're pretty pricey and you have to order from their website. And kind of those factors combined made me think maybe not now, maybe not this year. But the more I look at their website and their products and their Instagram, the more I wish I had just kind of jumped off the deep end when they were having a sale not too long ago and bought kind of a big bundle and tried a bunch of stuff out from the brand. There are two things specifically though that I really want to try. The first one is the Divine Skies Magic Hour palette. So it's like this tiny little compact palette. It literally could not be more perfect for me. The colors, the layout, the compact style, the fact that it's 6 shades, all of that is exactly what I want in my life, and I just should buy this. I should just buy it, but I know it's going to be kind of redundant in my collection, so I've always talked myself off the ledge. And the other thing from M Cosmetics are their lip cushions. These just look really beautiful. They look like they are pigmented enough to kind of compete with like a full lip color, but that they would just be so comfortable and so luxurious to wear. So if you've tried either of those things, or frankly anything from M Cosmetics, let me know in the comments if you think that the price tag and ordering from their site is worthwhile. Okay, and then this is not like new news on my channel, but I am obsessed with the idea of the BH Cosmetics travel series and brunch series, the 16 pan square eyeshadow palettes. And this is 100% just because of YouTube hype. I have no other reason for wanting these. None of the color stories are right for me. I'm not drawn in by the marketing. I literally only want these because they've gotten such incredible reviews and they are fairly affordable. The thing holding me back really is the fact that there is not a color story that I think is right for me. They all lean either way too neutral and I don't want 16 different shades of brown, or more colorful than I would get good daily use out of, or not daily use, but regular use out of. So I'm kind of waiting and hoping that they'll launch like a new series in this type of packaging or with this great formula, because I really do want to try BH Cosmetics this year. Okay, just a couple more things here. The first one is I've always kind of wanted to try out a whole bunch of the complexion products from Bare Minerals. Bare Minerals was actually the first like makeup I ever really owned, or I should say the first complexion products I ever owned. I definitely got like cute little eyeshadows or whatever as gifts or from my mom, but the first like foundation I ever owned was the Bare Minerals Original Loose Powder Foundation. And my mom bought us like those little starter kits that I think they still sell that has like the foundation, the warmth, and maybe a blush or something. And I remember being fascinated. And then I don't know what happened. I guess I got rid of it at some point, and I never really looked closely at Bare Minerals again. But the Complexion Rescue like tinted moisturizer product, I got a sample of that recently and it blew my mind. Like, I'm telling you, I was shocked. I was shocked at how it looked on my skin. And then that made me want to also look into the Original Loose Powder Foundation again. So I've been like stalking the Bare Minerals website, and it just feels like such old news to me. It just feels like I never hear anybody talk about Bare Minerals. I heard Kelly Gooch talk about it recently, like right after I got my sample of Complexion Rescue, and I was like, oh my gosh, maybe this is it. Maybe it's the resurgence of Bare Minerals. And I can't convince myself to do it, even though I got that sample and I was astounded by how much I loved it. I don't know what it is. It's like the fact that it's an older product is stopping me from buying it. Tell me down below if you love either their loose powder foundation or their Complexion Rescue. I cannot stop thinking about Bare Minerals, and it feels so weird to me because it's a brand I literally haven't considered for years and years and years. And then in direct contrast to Bare Minerals, I'm also constantly looking at the Danessa Myricks website, especially since Danessa Myricks recently came to Sephora. I'm even more tempted to pick up some of her products just because I feel like they're more easily accessible for a wider audience than they were when all of her products were just sold on the Danessa Myricks website. But two products in particular, I feel like I have been eyeing on her website for like forever. I mean, I don't even remember a time when these two products were not on my wish list. And now that they're both sold at Sephora, it might be time. I don't know. The two products are the Vision Flush and the Illuminating Veil. So the Illuminating Veil, I think it's the shade I'm interested in is called Serenity, I think, with just off the top of my head. It's like almost my skin tone, and I want it as like a foundation mix-in and also as a highlighter. I want it like all over my body, frankly. And I think if I get a color like this one that I'm thinking of, it will work for me year round as like a beautiful glow product. The Vision Flush is like an eyes, lips, cheeks product, or maybe not eyes. I shouldn't say that out loud. I know for a fact it's lips and cheeks. And it just looks like a different texture and a different formula than most cream or liquid products that I've seen lately for lips and cheeks. I feel like there are a lot of mixed reviews about a lot of like the cream and liquid cheek products that are coming out lately. But I don't think I've ever heard a bad review of her Vision Flush products. So the fact that they're still kind of holding their own in this now very saturated cheek market, I think that's telling. I think that says something. So that may or may not be part of my June wish list as well. I'm still just trying to figure out and gauge whether there would be any interest on my channel for those products. Okay, so that's it. Well, really, that's not it. I mean, there's like an infinite number of products I could have talked about on this list, but I really tried to hone in on things that have truly been taking up space in my brain for such a long time that it almost just feels like I own them. Like I have been thinking about all of these products for so long that I can't even really remember times when they weren't taking up space in my mind. Like I said, there are definitely a couple of these that I think I will probably just go ahead and purchase at this point. I feel like why torture myself for so long? But I do really want your thoughts and feedback if you've tried any of these down in the comments. Or if you haven't tried them and you'd love to see a review on any of these things, let me know that as well. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you did, give it a thumbs up down below and please consider subscribing to my channel before you go today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.